Approaching graduation is going to be one of the biggest events in an individual's life, and therefore it will be followed by a great deal of responsibility and decision-making. It is a milestone and can feel like a huge burden sometimes. It is okay to feel insecure, and it's okay to be afraid of making the wrong choice. Today, we are going to focus on a few options and provide you some information about each of these options so that you can start deciding what is best for you and how to get there. A natural choice for a large percentage of people is going to college. This is a great choice for those who have a clear goal and know what they want to do. However, even if there is uncertainty about the long-term goal, there is still time to go to college and decide on concrete goals later, if there's still the desire to continue in education. As the costs of college continue to escalate, many high school graduates are considering enlistment in the military service as their best shot at affording any sort of post-secondary education. They're also discovering that enlisting in the military helps achieve other goals with lifelong benefits, or they have the desire to serve the country. If it has been decided that continuing education at this time is not the best option, gaining employment is a great way to start a life with independence and responsibility. Students can explore options in their hometown and surrounding areas or search for other opportunities in a field of interest. Additionally, many students see the benefits of attending a trade or a vocational school, which provide clear pathways to sustainable careers. Ms. Tamayo is now going to share with you information about college testing and how to explore colleges virtually.
Most four-year colleges and universities require one of these tests as part of their college entrance requirements. Both 2- and 4-year colleges in the state of Texas use the TSIA-2 scores for class placement to determine if a student is college ready. The TSIA-2 helps Texas schools determine whether your student is ready to take college-level courses in the areas of reading, writing, and math. We offer the TSIA-2 free of charge to all of our students. If your student is interested, please have them email their counselor to set up a testing date. The Scholastic Assessment Test, better known as SAT, is a standardized aptitude test that measures a student's readiness for college. It is made up of 3 sections: reading, math, writing, and language. Your student can register for the SAT by going to the website www.collegeboard.org. They will need to create an account and pay the fee. The fee is $52. If your student is on free or reduced lunches, please have them see a counselor for a fee waiver. The American College Test, better known as the ACT, is another standardized aptitude test designed to measure a student's readiness for college. Test questions are based on standard high school subjects. The test is multiple choice and consists of 4 subject areas: English, math, reading, and science. Your student can register for the ACT by going to the website act.org. Their test fee is $55. They will also create an account and pay for their fee. We also have fee waivers for ACT. Most colleges will accept both of these tests. Splendora High School will be administering the SAT on March 3rd, 2021 to all juniors. This test will be completely free of charge and will give your student a jump start on their testing. Please make sure that your student arrives by 7:15 in order to be able to participate. They will need to bring a calculator if they would like to use one, as they will not be provided one by the school. More information about what kind of calculator is allowed can be found on the College Board website at www.collegeboard.org. Students will be allowed to send these scores to 4 colleges and universities free of charge. Ways to learn about colleges virtually. 1, go to the college website. Have your student browse the course catalog, visit an academic department, check out the student supports, look into housing options, and explore dining options. Number 2, attend a virtual college fair. TACAC is partnering with Strive Scan to host a virtual college fair for students in Texas. The virtual college fair includes over 200 colleges and universities from around the world. Please visit the link listed to register, as the virtual college fair does require registration. That will be held Monday, March the 8th and Tuesday, March the 9th. Number 3, virtual college tours. You could definitely log on to the link that we have, go on there and tour the campuses. They have them recorded for your student to see what the college would look like without actually physically being there. Number 4, learn more by following a college social media account. Dig deeper into a college social media account. Different departments, majors, and student organizations operate their own pages that will give you a sense of their personalities. Also check out the location tags on Instagram to view authentic content from current students. And number 5, Big Future. Big Future is a service provided by College Board. It allows students to explore interest and make decisions about college utilizing easy-to-use and intelligent searching tools. Students can create a personalized path to college with a detailed action plan so they know exactly what steps to take and when, which can certainly make college planning less overwhelming. At this time, Ms. White will discuss college admission requirements and applications.
One of the biggest concerns that we see with parents and students is not understanding how to actually apply to college. So we're going to give you a little insight onto what the college admission and application process will look like. So for college admissions, students have a couple of different ways to be admitted to college. One is through the top 10% automatic admit. Students may qualify this if they are in the top 10% of their class. To meet the requirements, students must graduate in the top 10 at a public or private high school. And this rule has been modified for the University of Texas, in which they only accept the top 6% of the class. However, if your student is not in the top 10% of the class, what do you do then? Well, there is another way to get in called automatic academic admit, and that typically looks at a rank plus an admission. And so with that, the guarantees, and that's the key word, that it guarantees college acceptance to students who meet certain requirements regarding the grades, class rank, and test scores. So in this image, you will see that if you are applying to Sam Houston State University, you would be automatically admitted if your GPA is a 3.5 and you have a 930 on the SAT or a 17 on the ACT. So in this case, the lower the GPA is, the higher your SAT or ACT score would need to be. For other schools like SFA, they focus on the quartile, not the GPA. A student in the top 25% of the class, or the first quartile, would need a 930 on the SAT or a 17 on the ACT for automatic admission. But if a student is in the third quartile, they will need an 1170 or a 24 on the ACT. The next category is holistic review admits. Students who do not fall into the previously mentioned categories would go into this holistic review. This is a process that takes into consideration the applicant's experience, extracurriculars, and academics that would help contribute to their learning, practice, and teaching of that college. Information typically reviewed in a holistic review includes academic coursework, whether it was rigorous or not, any trends up and down over the academics, test scores such as SAT or ACT, how your performance compares to other high schoolers, such as your class rank, maybe some essays or short answer. They will want to look at your extracurriculars and other certain circumstances such as disabilities, family, or financial situations. Now this year, most, if not all colleges did not require an SAT or ACT for admission due to the lack of an available testing. All students, if they did not have scores, were holistically reviewed for college acceptance. At this time, many colleges are going to extend their test optional policy, but there's so many for us to keep up with. So please make sure that you are visiting the website for your specific college and reading more about their admission policy for next year. So how do you apply to college? Well, this is where we're going to talk all about that. So it can often feel overwhelming for students and parents. But the best practice is not to wait until the last minute to gather all your information and complete them. Many colleges do have November and December priority deadlines for applications to be submitted. This is not a hard deadline, but it does allow your student to receive notification of their admission to their college sooner, and it increases the chance of acceptance into the desired majors or eligibility for college-based scholarships. You can find specific deadlines on the college admissions websites. We have listed two of the most common application platforms here. Apply Texas is probably the most commonly used platform for the majority of public junior colleges and universities. Many of the same colleges are listed on the Common App as well. However, the Common App is a good platform for many of the private universities, in-state and out-of-state. We provided links to preview both of the applications so that before you're ready to sit down and apply, you can go through the application and see what it looks like. Now, once you do create an account for either one of these, it is really important that you keep your login credentials in a very safe place, because once you lose them, trying to recover them sometimes can be a pain. Next year for seniors, we will be going into classrooms and walking them through step by step, and they can always come to the counseling website, the counseling office if they would like us to guide them through it. Now, we had listed a couple of important information for you to keep handy with you when you are applying. And so information you want to gather would be your high school transcript, maybe your Lone Star transcript if you're taking college classes, extracurricular activities, so keep a list of that, testing scores, and even the demographics for the parent and the student. Next, we're going to have Ms. Nichols discuss other post-secondary options other than college.
Okay, so we're going to talk about letters of recommendation. So beyond studying hard and participating in extracurricular activities, what is one of the most useful steps students can take to improve their chances of getting scholarships or into their desired schools? That can be in the form of letters of recommendation. These are crucial as they often show others a subjective and personal perspective about who you are. Teachers can describe your scholastic ability in a way that's more detailed than what letter grades provide, and they can also speak to qualities like personal integrity, which may not be fully reflected on your transcript. Make sure you plan ahead and decide who you want to write your recommendation letters. Asking for a recommendation letter should not be just a 2-sentence email telling them that they have to write you a letter. If you can, take the time to stop by their classroom, chat with them, and then ask politely whether they have the time and would be willing to help you get into college by writing you a letter of recommendation. We often suggest providing the individual writing the letter with a brag sheet, as linked in this slide, to help the teacher and give them some background information about you, what your skills and abilities are, and what you've been up to for the past 4 years. Listed in this slide are the different military recruiters and their contact information. The images for each branch of the military are linked to the respective websites to allow you to further research more information. To gain entrance into the military service, you must obtain a minimum qualifying score on the ASVAB. Your scores are not only used to determine which service you are qualified to join, but also which jobs within that service you are qualified to do. The higher you score, the more career options you have. In addition, your score can directly affect your eligibility for bonuses and money for school. If you plan on taking or retaking the ASVAB for a better score, we have linked a practice test to help ensure you score your best. We offer the ASVAB every November at our school. You may also contact the recruiting offices to schedule a time to take it with them. The Texas Workforce Commission is a great resource for those students who would like to enter the workforce directly after graduating. TWC provides services for people with disabilities to obtain training and employment. They offer recruiting, training and retraining, outplacement services, assistance recruiting, and retaining qualified employees with disabilities. For job seekers, they offer career development information, job search resources, and training programs. Another option is trade schools. Trade schools are also known as career schools or vocational schools. These offer programs that focus on providing graduates with the job-specific skills needed for their chosen path. Trade schools emphasize not only those fields that are relevant to the student's future profession, but trade schools typically can provide a certification and/or license in 2 years or less. The coursework is specialized and the demand for graduates is increasing. This is good for the student who knows his or her desired career path and is looking to join the workforce in 1 to 2 years. Each image on this slide has been linked to the website for the trade school. This is the best place to visit to learn more about the programs they offer and how to apply to the school. The application process for these schools is very different than what the application process is for colleges and universities. Your student can also come to the counselor's office with help in filling out those applications as well. So some things to think about when you leave for the summer. And as we wrap up this presentation, we want to provide a list of things that you can do during the summer to help get ahead of the game for senior year. So you would need to finalize your college list and possibly narrow down your choices. Begin writing college essays, begin applications on Apply Texas or the Common App, seek extracurricular or community service activities, update your brag sheet and resume. Another suggestion for the brag sheet and resume is for them to have been doing that along, and it's easier to keep up with those things. And you can also ask for your high school transcript starting June 7th. You can request that from the counselor's secretary or request it online by using the form in this link. Ms. White will now discuss how to access the Counselor Canvas page, which will be extremely useful for both you and your student.
Yes, so while we have a captive audience, we definitely want to encourage parents to be observers in their student Canvas accounts. This is going to be really important going into senior year so that they can access a lot of information in one location. So Canvas is a platform that was introduced to your students this year when we started out remote learning. But it's a really neat platform, and it's not just for learning through teacher classrooms. The counseling department decided to create a Canvas account so that we had the ability to push out needed information to students and parents in a really easy to view format. Every student at the beginning of the year should have been given access to a counseling Canvas associated to their specific grade level. In that account, we have posted information like grade level checklists, college testing practice links and their dates, military, trade school information. There's so much that we've put in there. And so we want to share with you parents, what can you do in Canvas and what can you not do? So you'll see on the slide that in Canvas, a parent is able to view course documents and assignments. You can view the calendar. You can look at your students' grades if it's a subject area, and you can communicate with the course instructor. However, parents, you cannot submit assignments or join course groups or look at other student information, so there is a limitation there. So once next year, we roll into next year and our current juniors turn into seniors, we will be having this platform to add in a lot of scholarship information. A lot of our seniors this year have told us how easy it is to find scholarships through Canvas. They are listed by date of when they're due. And so this is going to be one of the go-to places for your senior for scholarships. So parents, how do you actually access Canvas? Because that's the question. Well, in order to access an account, you have to be an observer. And you're going to have your students share their username and password to the Splendora network. Now, sometimes students don't remember what their login and password is since they're so used to using the single sign-on ClassLink. But if they're unsure of what their username and password is, they can visit Ms. Jones, who is our media specialist in the library, and they can restore their login credentials. So once you do have that information, then the first step would be visit the website listed on this slide. Step 2 is going to be, once you visit the website, you'll see a little box over to the side of the Splendora ISD logo, and you will click on that parent enrollment link. Step 3, you're going to actually pair your observer account with your student. So in this scenario, you will have to open up a new screen on a computer, not a smart device, and the student will log into their Canvas account. Then you will click on the option to pair with observer under the student's account. Please note that there will be at the bottom a copy pairing code, and it is case sensitive. So you will need to take that code and copy it, and then go to your other tab in your parent account that you just created, and you will then link that code to your account. So once you get that done, you should be able to observe your student's Canvas account and all of the information that we post. So there are lots of questions you may have about your student's senior year, and we want you to know that we are always available to set up an appointment with you and go over any specific questions related to your student. You can always reach us by emailing our counseling secretary or us, or calling our counselor secretary at 281-689-4428. This presentation is being recorded and will be posted underneath the Splendora High School website under counseling. We will also include the PowerPoint with all of the live links on that same page. Additionally, to make it easy to find, we are going to be posting this in the junior class Canvas account. Now, tomorrow on Friday, we will be going to the junior classrooms and going through the same presentation to help guide them through the process individually as well. We really appreciate your time for being present at our meeting, and we would like to have the floor open for any general questions that you may have. You may unmute yourself and ask us directly, or you are welcome to type them in the chat and then we will answer them. If you have no questions, you are welcome to leave whenever you are ready.
Students are already pre-registered for the SAT, so all they have to do is just show up again with their pencils and their calculator, and we'll go ahead and getting them started on that SAT test.